sister friends, it's Terry from Sisterhood of the Traveling Brush, and I'm about to paint my front door. I know this isn't the ideal video situation right this second, but when we work on some more of it, I'll bring it outside. Hopefully we'll have some more light. But right now, this will suffice. I didn't paint the door last year, but I painted it the year before that, and about every other year I paint it. And so I'm scanning right now for any damaged areas, chipping areas. I don't see anything like that. It's important to always use good paint, because you don't want to end up with flaking and peeling and all that later on. So we're good with that. I have mixed up some Dixie Belle White Lightning, gloved my hand, and I'm going to clean the door first. This is going to be probably the most important part about making sure to have good adhesion and everything later on, is that we start out with a clean door, a clean surface. What the Dixie Belle White Lightning does is clean it and remove any type of residue off of there, of course, but it also prepares the surface for paint. We'll rinse this off. I'm not, leaving it on here, but I am using it for cleaning. But it cleans, it removes grease and dirt and wax, which wouldn't be on the door anyways, but any kind of stuff like that. But then it also sort of deglosses or deglazes the surface to prep it for paint. I'm not painting this part, the white part here, because that's kind of a vinyl stuff and your paint wouldn't stick to that good anyway. But I am cleaning it really good with the White Lightning. One of the things I always paint it with the door open, because there's a seal right here in the outer part of the trim, and that's what your door closes against, to seal, to give you an airtight close. And if you have the door closed when you're painting it, for one, you're going to miss part of it because it's stuck to that. And for two, you need to have the door open for a little while after you paint it, because if not, even though this may feel dry to the touch after it's painted, I usually wait 3 or 4 hours, because it does make a tight suction to this, and it will peel that paint back off if you're not careful. So now I'm just going through and wiping it off and trying to get all the surfaces and the dust off, because anywhere there's dust and dirt and grime on there, your paint may look like it's going to go over it, but it's not going to penetrate through that dirt and grime to adhere to the surface. Now, after you use White Lightning, you have to rinse it. So I have another bucket. This is just clear water. These are, I think they're called Danish dish towels or something like that, and they're really a glorified big old flat sponge, but I absolutely love them. My daughter bought them for me. And when you reuse them until they look disgusting, then you throw them out. So all we're doing right now is rinsing any residue of the White Lightning off the door, because it will leave a residue that will possibly interfere with the adhesion of the paint. Now we're going to tape it up. Some people have a steady enough hand to get close to all this stuff and not get paint on it. I get paint on it even when I tape it up. So I just believe prep is very important. So I'm going to prep it the way that I'm supposed to. So I'm going to put the tape all the way around the window. I'm going to put it around the hardware. I kind of like having the bigger tape, because you can pinch it in. It covers more of the hardware. And you can, if you think you're not going to be careful enough, you can put it around these edges. What taking a minute to do this step right now does is save you a lot of detail work later on. I do recommend you getting painter's tape. You can use what other kind of tape you have. What is that called? Masking tape and all that. But this is meant to have a good seal on the edge for painting. It's meant to have a low tack that will come off later without ripping up any of your paint. Okay, there was no way I could figure out how to get close enough for you to see what was going on and for me to be able to paint this on the video without turning it vertical. So I have spray bottle. This is the flat large Dixie Belle synthetic brush. Synthetic brushes, you need a good brush. Synthetic brushes leave less brush strokes and other issues. This looks like Colonel Mustard on the outside, but this is a custom blend of Bunker Hill Blue and Colonel Mustard to give me this gorgeous sort of golden green. I like it. And we're just gonna get it on here. This is the first coat. I just dampened my brush a little, gonna dampen in there a little. And I don't like to put too much of this on the surface because it can make that first coat of paint too thin, but I do want some on there. You don't dip your brush very deep in the paint, maybe a third of the way. And let's make it happen. I'm gonna go down this side first because I know that needs to be the driest first because it's what attaches up to this seal later. Gonna miss just a tad on there, miss just a tad on here. And let's hop to it, the second coat. Now the most important part is let's get the paint off, the tape off. Let's get the tape off, tape. Oh, I've seen days when I would try to save this tape and reuse it. Lord have mercy, this is probably a penny's worth. My time is more valuable than a penny. Ta-da! I'm gonna let it dry. I'm gonna leave this door open to let it dry for probably at least 2 hours. I'm gonna let it dry for at least 2 hours and then I'm done. I mean, I don't have to have a top coat on this. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. If you would like paint your door kit, let me know. I mail them out every day. Bye.